I took the pregnancy test about 7:30 that evening. It was positive, and I called him and let him know.
And what did he say?
He didn't say too much. I'm asleep. I'll call you back.
I'm asleep. I'll call you back.
That's what he said.
You have doubts.
Because if I have doubts and that is my brother, baby, I still want to be there.
No,
my
because
brother's
I
not
don't
there
want you to
for
be there.
him.
If you have doubt, there's no need for you to be in my child's life.
That's exactly why my brother said he didn't.
Someone in Jennifer's family that was threatening me to step up as her father, and all of a sudden he came back to me. We found out who the real father is. You are not the father, and I apologize to you.
The case of Chirps versus McQueen kicks off in the courtroom. The judge brings everyone to attention as Ms. Chirps accuses Mr. McQueen of ditching their 9-month-old daughter, Aria. She's here to prove paternity and get Mr. McQueen to step up to the plate. Stay tuned. The courtroom drama is just heating up.
Ms. Chirpez, you claim you and your grandmother have been given no choice but to drag the defendant into court today because you say he moved away and abandoned your 9-month-old daughter, Aria. You believe the DNA results will prove that he's her biological father.
Can you feel the tension in the air? Ms. Chirpes confirms the judge's summary, stating firmly that she believes Mr. McQueen is Aria's biological dad and demands he acknowledge his duties. The judge lays out the stakes clearly for the court, while Mr. McQueen counters, blaming Ms. Chirpes' interactions with other men for his departure. Oh, and it's about to get even juicier. Keep watching.
Mr. McQueen, you claim that Ms. Chirpez's relationships with multiple other men is what drove you away, and you believe that today's result proved baby Aria's father is another man.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Chirpez, tell me, what has Mr. McQueen done for your daughter so far?
This is where it gets real, folks. Ms. Chirpes shares how little Mr. McQueen has contributed to their daughter's upbringing. Only a box of diapers and a couple of wipes packs. The audience is visibly shocked by the revelation. The emotional toll on Ms. Chirpes is evident as she struggles with the minimal support from Mr. McQueen in raising Aria. Brace yourself. There's more emotion to come.
And I can see that that really hurts you. You're very angry about that?
Yes.
Tell the court.
It's hard because, I don't know, I didn't ever see it like this.
How did you see it?
Like he had promised.
And how was that?
Definitely not like this. I had moved out to go live with him, and we had actually planned on having her. Everything went downhill from there.
Mr. McQueen.
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you done anything for this baby besides just these diapers?
Yes, Your Honor, I actually have.
Here's where the plot thickens. As tensions rise, Ms. Chirpes accuses Mr. McQueen of cheating, which she believes led to his doubts about Aria's paternity. Mr. McQueen doesn't deny his wanderings, and a heated exchange about trust and responsibilities ensues. The couple divulges details of their stormy relationship and its impact on their parenting responsibilities. Fasten your seatbelts. This confrontation is far from over.
It changed because I want to know if it's mine or not.
The only reason you're questioning me is because you were unfaithful.
I was unfaithful, yes.
And so you caught him cheating on you. And how did this lead to the paternity question? I mean, if you say you were faithful, he cheated on you, that still has nothing to do with Aria's paternity.
It's because he doesn't trust himself, so he thought it was all right, so he assumes I thought it was okay to be cheating on him.
Because he was out there doing the wrong thing, he thinks you were as well, but you were not.
No.
Just when you think you've heard it all, the grandmother steps in, expressing her exasperation with Mr. McQueen's lack of involvement and the heavy burden it places on her and her husband. She highlights the difficulty they face stepping in to support Aria. And just when you think things might start to cool down, there's another twist coming up next.
I don't understand how a father can do this to their child because I know she's his baby. She was so happy. She got pregnant because they had planned it, and he knows that. And then now he's doing this. Why? I mean, I don't understand it.
So, Mr. McQueen, did you plan to have Aria?
Yes, we did plan on having her.
So now she's here. What's the problem?
The problem is that when I was at work, she was doing what I don't even know, talking to all these other men. During all of this, this was, not okay with me.
Hold the phone. Major bombshell alert. Ms. Chirpes admits to spending a night with another man, Mr. Gerber, under the pretense of visiting her father, sending shockwaves through the quiet. This confession complicates the paternity issue even further, and Mr. Gerber is brought in to testify. Things are about to get even more tangled, so don't go anywhere.
I heard she was sleeping with another man, and then 3 weeks after that, she chose another one. And if I was one of my
what
doubts
are their
is,
names?
I was the child's father, then why did she refuse me to come to the delivery room? She had another man there.
Because you were arguing me about her last name, and I had informed you that I'm not arguing while I'm having our...
But yet there was the same man that you were getting money from when you were living with me and we were together before Aria was born, and he was there.
Grab your popcorn. It's verdict time. As we edge closer to the climax, the courtroom is charged with anticipation as the judge prepares to reveal the DNA test results. Everyone is on the edge of their seats, waiting to find out who Aria's biological father is. The result will drop any minute now, and you won't believe what's next.
Let's get the results. Jerome.
All right.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Chirpes versus McQueen, pertaining to whether Mr. Gerber or Mr. McQueen is the father of 8-month-old Araya Chirpes.
And the plot twist you've been waiting for. The DNA results are revealed, confirming
The biological father is Mr. McQueen.
See?
The courtroom is abuzz as the judge takes the seat, ready to dive into the drama. The court session begins with all parties being greeted and seated, including the judge and the participants, Jerome, Ms. Kingsbury, and Mr. James. The case is formally introduced as Kingsbury versus James. All participants exchange greetings, setting a formal yet tense atmosphere. You won't believe how quickly things heat up from here.
Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello, Jerome.
This is the case of Kingsbury versus James.
Thank you. Good day, everyone. Miss Kingsbury, you say you were in a romantic relationship with the defendant, Mr. James, planned to have a child together, but when your 11-month-old son, Chance, was born, Mr. James turned on you and began to deny paternity.
The plot thickens as Mr. James throws a curveball. He counters Ms. Kingsbury's tear-jerking tale by claiming they had stopped being intimate during the key period when Chance could have been conceived. He's all in to prove with medical evidence that he's not the dad, setting the stage for a showdown. Watch as the judge navigates these choppy waters in the next clip.
You are here to prove Mr. James the biological father, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. James, you say you had stopped all intimate relations with Miss Kingsbury during the window of conception. You say you can prove this is not your child, undeniable medical evidence.
The emotional roller coaster takes another dip. Judge Lake delves into the heartache, probing Ms. Kingsbury about what hurts the most. She spills that planning to have their son, then being left in the lurch, cuts deep. Mr. James chimes in, admitting they initially had baby plans, but his feelings have chilled since then. This revelation stirs the pot even more, and you won't want to miss how this emotional tug-of-war unfolds.
What is the most hurtful part of this situation for you?
Well, me and Mr. James, we plan to have our son, plan to have a child together. So that's what hurts me the most.
And so, did you plan this baby, Mr. James?
Yes, I did plan it at first. We did plan it at first, Your Honor.
You did?
You'll chuckle at this next twist. In a moment of courtroom drama, Mr. James exposes a white lie about how Ms. Kingsbury got to work, shaking the foundations of their trust. This minor fib about a ride escalates into major doubts about her honesty overall, turning the case into a veritable telenovela. The judge's reaction to this bombshell will have you on the edge of your seat.
I guess wanting to be serious with me.
All right, so tell the truth now. Well, that's why we're here. Tell the truth.
Happened.
So what happened?
Oh, I lied about a way that I got to work. I didn't tell him who took me. I told him that it was my sister who took me, but it was a customer of mine. I asked him if he can give me a ride to work. I did what I had to do to get to work. I didn't have a way. I had to take my daughter all the way to the other side of town to her godmother, and I had to get to work.
Things get even more tangled as secrets come to light. Ms. Kingsbury drops the bomb that she was pregnant while at work, but Mr. James was too sleepy to care, or so he says. Then, in a twist worthy of reality TV, he reveals he was playing house with another woman at the same time. The layers of drama pile up, leading to a revelation that shakes everyone up. Stay tuned to see how the judge deals with this soap opera scenario.
I took the pregnancy test about 7:30 that evening. It was positive, and I called him and let him know.
And what did he say?
He didn't say too much. I'm asleep. I'll call you back.
I'm asleep. I'll call you back.
That's what he said to me.
At the time she said she conceived with a baby, she was walking with her coworkers then. Like she was walking home with him. I don't know if they had sex or not.
Excuse me,
I
Your
don't know
Honor.
nothing about that.
So she's walking home now with somebody.
About that
Let me
time,
explain something to you.
About that time,
me
she
and
told
my
me she was
co-worker
pregnant.
live in
Before
the
that-
same neighborhood.
A genetic puzzle adds intrigue to the mix. The topic turns scientific when it's disclosed that little Chance has the sickle cell trait, which Mr. James uses as his ace to claim he's not the father, since no one in his family has the trait. This new angle adds a layer of complexity to the case, mixing medicine with melodrama. The expert testimony up next will make your jaw drop.
I see him pee.
He signed the birth certificate. He signed the birth certificate and everything.
Bro.
He did.
Because I thought
My
that's
son
the right
has his
thing
last
to do.
name.
Even though I had my doubts, as a person, I believe in God, whatever like that. I believe as a man,
The doubt
take
is-
responsibility.
At what point do you really have real doubt this child is yours?
I think when he was like 2 months, the sickle cell trait.
Chance was born with the sickle cell trait.
Yes.
Dr. Wanda Witten-Sherney steps in to shed light on the genetics of sickle cell trait, explaining that one of the parents must be a carrier. Her clarity brings a dose of reality to the mystical world of genetics, aiming to debunk myths and clear the fog around paternity. The court is all ears, and what she says next could change everything.
She's the CEO of the Sickle Cell Disease Association of America, Michigan chapter.
Hello, doctor. The witness stand right next to you, going up the steps.
Hi, Dr. Sherney.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We are here today talking about paternity of beautiful baby Chance.
And now for the grand finale. Hold on to your seats. The tension peaks as the paternity results are unveiled.
Mr. James, you are the father.
As the court session kicks off, the drama unfolds with the case of Thomas Sherman versus Costello, involving a squabble over the paternity of a child claimed by Ms. Sherman to be her late brother's son. Grab your popcorn. This is gonna be good.
This is the case of Thomas Sherman versus Costello.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Sherman, you claim the defendant is taking advantage of your grieving aunt emotionally and financially by claiming your deceased brother is her child's father.
Ms. Costello, clearly fed up, retorts that she's sick of the constant paternity questioning from Ms. Sherman and Ms. Thomas. She's here to clear the air once and for all. The next part is a doozy, so stay tuned.
Ms. Costello, you say you're tired of Ms. Sherman and Ms. Thomas questioning the paternity of your son, and you are here to put an end to their doubt once and for all.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Sherman, you say Ms. Costello is taking advantage of your aunt?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Sherman dives into the details, explaining her aunt's financial support for Ms. Costello's child, deeming it unfair without paternity proof. The courtroom is heating up, and you won't believe what comes next.
She supports this baby financially, as in buying his diapers, his clothes, his food when he is at the house. If he has a doctor's appointment, she is there, and that's not right if she doesn't know the baby is his.
Your Honor, that's his family.
We don't know
choose
that.
to decide to
We don't
do
know that.
Erica was there with me at the hospital when I had the baby, and when Ryan was born, she saw the crown of his head and said, he is a Sherman.
Standing her ground, Ms. Costello argues that her actions are justified as the child's aunt treats him like family by choice. The air's thick with tension. Let's see where this goes.
You are not taking advantage of Ms. Thomas, Ms. Costello?
No, ma'am. She is. She takes her part as being his aunt. She raises him. He goes over to her house every other week for an entire week. And if there were any doubts that she had about Ryan being his son,
told him.
Then it shouldn't matter what he does, because if that's his kid.
But the truth is, there still is very real doubt. Is there doubt?
No, ma'am, not on my end.
In a tale worthy of a soap opera, Ms. Costello outlines her complicated pregnancy timeline, detailing her relationships and encounters. Fasten your seatbelts. The plot is about to thicken.
Take me to the point you found out you were pregnant.
I found out I was pregnant in the middle of March, and at that point in time, I contacted Ryan and I told him, hey, I think I'm pregnant. Is this my kid? And I said, well, it was a slap in the face, because I know he had room for doubt, because when we broke up in the beginning of January, I started to talk to somebody else. He started to talk to somebody else. And then towards the middle of, after me and the other guy had intercourse with each other, Ryan and I had intercourse probably about a week later.
Armed with a conception calculator, the judge aims to pinpoint the likely conception window based on the child's birth date. The results are almost in, and you won't want to miss this reveal.
So the best way to figure this out, to go to my conception calculator. Let's figure this out.
Baby Ryan's birthday is October 27, 2017.
I put that birth date in, October 27, 2017, and press calculate. Calculates the window of conception as February 1st to February 5th, and the date of intercourse between January 29th and February 5th. You were having sex with the other guy.
I was having sex with the other guy the beginning of January.
Despite harboring doubts, Mrs. Sherman reveals her deep emotional connection to the child, underscoring the messy nature of family ties. The emotional roller coaster isn't over yet. Watch out for the twists ahead.
If you have doubts,
because if I have doubts and that is my brother, baby, I still want to be there.
No,
my
because
brother's
I
not
don't
there
want you to
for
be
him.
there. If you have doubt, there's no need for you to be in my child's life.
That's exactly why my brother said he didn't.
When you find out, I want an apology, and at that same time, when I get that apology, you still won't be able to see Ryan.
That's your decision then you took me away from him.
No, you took yourself away when you had
But
doubts.
I just said I'm gonna be there though, right?
No, you took.
Ms. Thomas shares how she swayed Ms. Costello to name her baby Ryan amidst the family drama. The emotional stakes are high, and the courtroom is on the edge of its seats.
Ms. Costello to name the baby Ryan.
Yes, when I seen Ryan's head, because if you look at any of our family, you cannot deny none of our family. Our family look identical to each other. Everybody. When I seen that baby come out and I seen his crown, I just started crying. I said, that's my baby. Even though all the drama was going on, I texted her pictures. He was born, y'all. He's here. He's ours.
She did.
He's ours.
The moment of truth approaches as the DNA results are about to be disclosed. This could flip everything upside down. Get ready for the big drop.
It has been determined by this court. The percentage of relatedness between Ms. Nalencia Sherman and Ryan Costello Sherman is 97.8%. You are related.
Yes, I knew it. We good.
You could cut the tension in the courtroom with a butter knife. The Cherry v. Johnson case kicks off, and things get wild. Miss Cherry, seeing Mr. Johnson in person for the first time, claims he's her dad. Mr. Johnson isn't so sure, but knows today's results are a big deal. Trust me, it gets crazier from here.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Cherry versus Johnson.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Miss Cherry, you claim Mr. Johnson is your father, even though this is the first time ever seen him in person. You know he does not believe that he is your biological father.
Just when you think it can't get more intense, Miss Cherry drops a bomb. She talks about her adoption and all the mean comments she's heard about her real parents not loving her. Everyone in the courtroom is glued to her every word. Get ready for more jaw droppers.
I am just looking for closure. I was adopted, within family, so I know who my mother is and everything, but I was adopted within family, and certain family members have always made the statements that my parents just didn't love me and that's why they gave me up.
What? That is awful. I can't even imagine, Miss Cherry, what you've gone through having to hear just such mean-spirited remarks.
Hold on to your hats because Mr. Johnson's story is a doozy. He talks about a fling with Miss Cherry's mom in 1985, leading to a short relationship. He admits to the one-night stand, but questions the pregnancy timeline and her claim of being a virgin. The drama keeps coming.
At the time, in 1985, my girlfriend was also pregnant and she had left to go to Ohio. Well, Jennifer's mother sent someone from the neighborhood with a note saying that she wanted to sleep with me and she was in love with me. At this time, I had a few beers. Can't blame that on the alcohol. Needless to say, we ended up having that one encounter that one night.
Did have sex with her mother?
Yes.
One night.
One night.
Just when you thought it couldn't get any crazier, Mr. Johnson drops another bomb. He says a family member once told him he was the dad, only to apologize later for being wrong. This confession sends the room into a frenzy. Buckle up, it's about to get wilder.
At this time, I had already been told that I was not the father, but now again,
Who told you you weren't the father at that time?
Someone in Jennifer's family that was threatening me to step up as her father for months. And all of a sudden, he came back to me. We found out who the real father is. You are not the father, and I apologize to you.
With everyone on the edge of their seats, Miss Cherry shares a heartbreaking detail. She reveals her birth parents gave up their rights 2 years before her adoption, challenging Mr. Johnson's claims about not knowing and DNA testing. The tension builds, and you won't believe what happens next.
My mother had advised me that 2 years prior to me being adopted, both parents signed their rights over. I feel like if you wanted to know, you could have found out at that moment because previously to that, the courts was trying to do a DNA test. You never showed up.
Do you remember signing over your parental right, Johnson?
I have never signed a birth certificate. I have never signed any documents.
Just when it couldn't get more emotional, Miss Cherry talks about feeling unloved and desperately searching for her real dad. Mr. Johnson admits he messed up in the past, making for a touching courtroom moment. Grab some tissues, there's more coming.
You say, I want to search for my father.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you begin that search. Can you tell the court how that came about?
I did a DNA ancestry and it linked me to cousins. I had told them I don't know my father or anything like that, so they asked me for the name. They came literally 10 minutes, was like, we couldn't find anyone with that spelling, but we found someone with this spelling.
Everyone's holding their breath for the big reveal. The DNA results are in.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Johnson, you are not the father. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.